Not in Our Time was commissioned for the centenary of the Bournemouth Symphony Chorus, and they wanted a piece that would be about an important subject, not necessarily just a celebration piece, but something that was about our times. And I had been very taken by the fact that after 9/11, George Bush called for a crusade against the war on terror, and I read all the reactions from the Arab world about his usage of that word, crusade, because for many people in the Middle East, the crusades have never actually stopped. They've been going for the last 1,000 years. They've just changed in their form. And so I thought that I would construct a piece that was about the way in which people use religion as a pretext for going to war and for doing brutal and horrible things. And as I started doing research about the Crusades, I had this idea of texts which would be from our time, from the time of 9/11 and since then as well. Barack Obama, my piece begins with one president and ends with another president, and then contrast it with the language spoken by the Pope who launched the First Crusade 1,000 years ago, Pope Urban II, and some of the Arab responses to the Crusades of the First Crusade. And what was extraordinary is that the language of Al-Qaeda now is very similar to the language of Pope Urban II. And so it became a piece which was an exploration of this theme of religion used as a pretext for unspeakable atrocities. And my piece is not just a bleak and dark piece, or not necessarily even about war. It's, I think, about the magnificence of religion and the great things that religion has achieved in terms of architecture, music, thought. And on the other hand, side by side, it shows that very often there has been a very heavy price to pay for the good things that religion has done and continues to do. Not in Our Time was commissioned for the Bournemouth Symphony Chorus, and I decided, since it was on a grand scale, the theme and the concert for their centenary, it would be accompanied by full orchestra. I decided I would use two soloists, and unusually I asked them to be placed either side of the conductor, so that the tenor soloist always has the Christian texts and the baritone solo always has the Muslim texts. And the conductor almost is like a point between them that represents music art as a mediating force. And the two soloists sing separately for the entire piece until the very end, when I set part of Barack Obama's lecture to Cairo University in, I think, 2008. And he speaks to these young Muslim students and says, "My name is Barack Hussein Obama," and he starts to bridge the worlds between Christian and Muslim, and effectively he's saying it's time to put aside this crusading mentality of his predecessor and to see what we have in common. And he says, you young people have got the ability to reimagine the world. And it's a wonderful speech. I think it will be remembered as a great speech. And so I have both soloists joined together and sing in octave unison the words of Barack Obama, which the chorus then take up. So having had quite a dark subject for lasting some 55 minutes, it does end on a message of hope that we can find a way forward to break this cycle of violence.